everyone, and welcome to the Best Day Ever Crafting Podcast. This is a podcast about my crafting journey and celebrating with you all the reasons why crafting every day makes for the best day ever. My name is Trish, and I can be found on Instagram and Ravelry as Tie-Dye Diva. Show notes can be found in the Ravelry group, which is also where we chat about the current make-alongs that we're doing. So welcome everyone. I know that I'm a bit behind. I think this is going on the 4th week since our last recorded. Of course, the last one being with Arthella and I. That was her last podcast, sadly. But I am back. I've been really busy, and I'll share with you what's been keeping me so busy towards the end of the podcast. So I hope you have your making with you and maybe a warm or cool beverage, whatever tickles your fancy today, as I share with you all the things I've been working on in the past few weeks. So before we get started with the making, we do have a little bit of administrative to discuss. As I mentioned, we do have some make-alongs going on for 2021. The first being the Year of Hats by Kelborn Woolens. We've already drawn a prize for that, or Arthella has already drawn a prize for that as promised in the Ravelry group. So make sure you check there if you completed the January hat. She's already chosen the winner, and hopefully the winner has already contacted her. And we're moving on into the February hat. And I did not print that pattern off, but the rules pretty much stay the same. Finish your hat by the end of the month and enter your finished object in the Ravelry thread, and we'll choose a name towards the end of the month. Now, for the January hat, I did not finish my January hat, but I did start. As you can see, I started, but I'm telling you, I could not wrap my brain around that cable pattern. There was just something, I don't know, maybe I just have too much going on, and my brain is really craving really simple patterns. But I tried and I tried and I tried. So, but I love the cast on and I love this yarn. So I decided I'm just going to keep knitting, and I'm going to make myself a beanie, just a basic beanie. So I'm going to recount my stitches and figure out how I'm going to do the decreases for the crown. But I will have a finished hat in the Kelborn Woolens Germantown yarn. Just not the January hat right now. I will cast on for the February hat. And I will probably go to Fiber Space, which is one of our local yarn stores, this weekend to pick up my yarn for the February hat. So congratulations to everyone who completed it, and an extra special congratulations to our winner for the January hat. Okay, so our next make-along is for the first quarter, January, February, and March, where we will be making jumpers. And jumper is defined as anything that goes on the top of the body. So it can be a top, it can be a sweater, it can be a dress, and it can encompass all of the crafts. It can be crochet, knit, sewed. If you can justify why it's a jumper, then it goes. So there is a finished object thread. There's also a chat thread. So just let us know what you're working on, and I look forward to seeing that. The next time I record, we will be drawing a prize, maybe even 2 prizes for the first quarter make-along. I think I said I wanted to draw a prize once a month. So I'm still, kind of rethinking that, since it's just me by myself. So I'm just rethinking exactly how I want to do the prizes for the make-along. So please stay tuned for that. All right, so let me share with you what I have been working on for the past few weeks. I did finish something despite being really busy. I managed to finish one of my knit whips, and it is the Jessica Jones cowl. Now I know I've shown this several times. Let me bring it closer to the camera so you can get a really close look at the stitch. So this is a cowl that is designed by Simi. I believe that's the way you pronounce her name. It's S-M-I-N-E. And I knit this in Asylum Fibers, Merino fingering, and the color is Swamp Thing. So it's really pretty. It's, as you can see, greens and different colors of grays. There were some different colors of really dark grays and whites, and so it's just a beautiful skein of yarn. And I did have a tiny bit left. What did I do with it? I feel like I just saw it a second ago. Anywho, I used just about all of it. I may have had maybe 1 or 2 grams left over. So the Jessica Jones cowl, it's a very simple, easy to knit cowl. Like I said, that's what I've been craving the past few weeks with so much going on. But it's a linen stitch, a cowl, so it's just one row repeat. And it's super fun, super easy, and all you need to knit it is 1 skein of fingering weight yarn. And it also calls for a US 8, and that's exactly what I used, is a US 8 needle. You can probably tell my throat is so dry today. The weather here in the Washington, D.C. area has been very, very cool and very dry. And we also had to get our furnace replaced this week, so we were about a day without heat. And the new furnace, it's quieter, it's really nice, but I feel like the heat is a lot drier. So been drinking a lot of water. So anyway, yep, she's all finished. And the bind off, the pattern had you do a sewn bind off, which I was really excited about because I had never done a sewn bind off before. But I just did not like the way it was looking, and it just didn't look neat to me. So I took that out, and I had a lot of difficulty taking out the sewn bind off. So I just kind of fudged taking out that bind off, and I ended up going around the bottom with a single crochet. So that's what you see all the way around the bottom edge. It works. It's nice and stretchy. Not as stretchy as the sewn bind off would have been, but it definitely works. So let me try it on so you can see what it looks like. I have not blocked this yet, but I will definitely wet block it. So it's just a very basic cowl. I love the way it drapes, and it's like just enough. This is something I could just wear around the house when it's a bit chilly. And of course, you can see how it would just fit really nicely under a coat or a jacket. So it's, you can put it up around your ears and your mouth and your nose. And it's perfect. It's just, I really, really like this. I can see making another one of these possibly. But I probably, I don't know. Yeah, I think I will definitely make another one. Even though it's just a basic cowl, I will say this, it takes forever. And I don't know why that is, because like I said, I use the size 8, but I think it's just that, as you can see, those rows, they're just really short. Even though you're using the larger needle, larger than what's called for fingering weight yarn. So, but highly enjoyable, highly, highly enjoyable. So that is the Jessica Jones cowl by Simi. So it's the only thing I finished, but I do have a couple of whips I can share with you. The first whip is something, I'm pretty sure I showed this the last time I recorded. This is my Coastal Crop Raglan, and this is a pattern by, I actually printed this pattern out because I don't know, I've just been enjoying all things paper here lately. And then I think having the strain on my eyes with electronics isn't fun. So this is what it looks like. This is the Coastal Crop Raglan by Tiff Nealon. Is it Nealon or Nylan? She's a fairly new knitwear designer, and I love her patterns. They're just absolutely stunning. Very simple, but with really stunning results. So as I've mentioned, it is a top-down raglan, You do have a contrasting color for the for the neckline ribbing, which is a textured rib, and it also features these interesting eyelets that go along the raglan shaping. I would highly recommend this pattern. I think an adventurous beginning sweater pattern, an adventurous beginner sweater knitter could definitely make this pattern. So here's my progress on mine. I'm almost at the point where not quite ready to divide for the sleeves, but I do I think I'm in the final section of the raglan shaping. So I'm going to put this up close so you can see the colors, and I'm going to try to open this up so you can see the eyelet shaping alongside the raglan. That eyelet shaping is repeated in the front, on both fronts, and yeah, so it's just on the front, not on the back. Let's see, what else can I say? So the yarn that I'm using is, for the main body, this is Traveler by Cephalopod, who's no longer dyeing yarn. And the color is called In a Lonely Place, but I don't think that's really a color name. I think that's what they call their colors when maybe they didn't quite come out the way that it was intended. They just called them In a Lonely Place. So you can see it's shades of pinks and purples, a little bit of like a spruce green in there, some grays. And then for the contrasting rib neckline, I used a Plucky Knitter Bellow, which is a merino cashmere combination, so it's super soft and squishy. This also is a no-name color, and Plucky calls their no-name colors Broken Crayon. So, but as you can see, it's just this beautifully plummy purple color. Having a really good time working on this. It's really, like I said, it's super easy, extremely well written, detailed pattern. I didn't have any questions, any I just love a pattern where you read it and you know exactly what you're supposed to do. No question about what you are supposed to do. So great job on this, Miss Tiff Nealon. And I will be glad when I separate for the sleeves, because then I could just knit. So really, really enjoying this. And I can show you a little close up of what the yarns look like. So this is the bellow that the trim is done in. You can really see the stitch. Not the stitch, you can really see the twist on this yarn. It's really, really nice. And there's the cephalopod for the main color. Yep, and I am alternating skeins on the main color. And that's working out really, really well. And I'm doing the, what's the technique where you, it's escaping me. What? I'm gonna put it right down here. But I really, really love that technique. That too is working out really, really well. Okay, so my next whip I want to show you, I kind of wish I'm like in the middle of a row. I'm really tempted to finish this row before I show it to you, because I don't want these stitches to fly off the needle. But I think I'm okay. Okay, so this is my next whip. I am making an oldie but goodie. This is called the Hitchhiker Shawl. It's the Hitchhiker by Martina Bim. And I don't, you know what? I've got the pattern right here. So this says this pattern was designed in 2010. So there it is. That's what it looks like when it's wrapped around the neck. And this is what it looks like when it's open. So as you can see, it's like a asymmetric shawl, and it's got the little teeth on the edge of the shawl. Let's see any other pictures. Love this picture. So that's how it would look when you style it, or how it can look. I have knit this before with the recommended yarn, which is Wool Mice, which is a fingering weight yarn from Germany. And Martina Bim is also a German knitwear designer. But I've always loved that project. So, like I said, being so busy the past few weeks, but still wanting to knit, I said, what can I make that doesn't require a whole bunch of thinking? I can just cast on and knit like the wind. And this is one of the projects that came to my mind. So you can see it's got the little shark-like looking teeth on the bottom edge of the shawl, and almost has a little ripple effect on the top edge. And that's established by doing a knit one into the front and into the back at the beginning of the at the beginning and the end, actually, of each row. I don't want to give too much of the pattern away, but it is a very easy pattern. It is an 8-row repeat. Let me double check that. Yep, it's an 8-row repeat, but it's a very easy to memorize. So I do highly recommend this pattern. But let's talk about the yarn. So you saw the yarn. Isn't it pretty? Love this because I just love all the colors. I'm definitely a color lover. And so I want you to take a guess on what this yarn is. I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it, and I'm gonna pull it out of the roll here carefully. There's another look at the yarn. I'll give you a hint. It does come already caked up for you. Take a closer look at it. Okay, so do you have your answers? This is kind of when I wish we were live. Okay. This is what it is. So if you're like me and you hardly ever knit with acrylic, you're probably shocked. As shocked as I was, first of all, when I saw this in the store, I was just looking. Whenever I go to big box stores, I don't typically buy acrylic yarns, but I just have to look and see because there's always something new and interesting, and I just want to keep abreast of the new colors and the new, what's trending in the big box stores as well. So I was just looking, and I looked down, and of course this skein caught my gaze, and I was like, that is gorgeous. And all the yarn was 30% off. This row here was only $6.99. You guys know how I feel about a sale. And I said, you know what, for that price, let me just try it. It felt good. It still feels good. It's enjoyable to work with. It doesn't feel plasticky or it's awesome. I would knit with this again in a minute, and they had some amazing colors. So again, it's by Red Heart, and it's called Roll With It Melange, and this color is called Curtain Call. Yep, Curtain Call. It is a worsted weight, and yep, it recommends a US 9, so worsted Aran weight, and it has 389 yards. So that's quite a bit of yarn for a worsted weight put up. The Hitchhiker calls for a fingering weight yarn, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have plenty to complete this, and I'm just going to keep knitting and knitting and knitting until the yarn runs out. What else was I going to say? I'm really curious to see how it blocks out. I know you don't traditionally block acrylic yarns the way you do wool or natural yarns, but I'm really curious to see what it's going to do when it's complete. So if anyone can offer me any suggestions for how to block this, the stitches won't need a lot of relaxation. They look pretty good, and as you can see, it's all garter stitch, which is another reason I love this pattern. So again, if you can give me some recommendations or suggestions on how to block it, I would be forever grateful. So here I am again trying to finish up this row, but you guys are knitting too, right? So now it's like we're actually knitting together. Okay, so next up, do I have any more? No, I think that's it. I had one finished object, two things that I'm actively working on, and yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you is what's going on in digital art and paper crafting. So as you know, um, I've been talking about opening my own stationery and sticker shop. It's just something I wanted to do. I thought it would be a fun endeavor, and I just have you ever just had a desire to do something against all practicality, but there was just something tugging at you saying you need to do this? Well, that's how this sticker shop came into existence. I mean, there are a lot more concrete reasons as to why I decided to open a small business, and we'll talk about those another time. But I it's been an interesting endeavor. And again, I won't go into a lot of detail about it today. Maybe I'll just do a whole segment. I'll come on and I'll record a whole segment on how I started, why I started, and what progress I'm making. Maybe I'll do that like at the six month mark in the business. So let me just show you a few things that you will find in the shop. First of all, let me tell you where to find this shop. It is called thefibertree.com. FIBERTRY.com. Fibertree being a play on the words fiber and poetry, because of course I love everything about the fiber arts, and poetry is a homage to my family, where we have a history of writers, poets, and just overall crafty, creative people. Many, unfortunately, who are no longer with us, but their legacy and their love and their inspiration is living on. And so that's one reason why I decided to call it that. And also one of the reasons why I decided not to hesitate, because having lost so many family members in such a short period of time, so two of which were very young, relatively speaking, it makes you reevaluate the way you think about the decisions you make, and the things you hesitate on. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it, and I did it. So I'm really, really proud of myself, and I know it's just the beginning, but boy, did I have an amazing shop opening week. You guys just blew it out of the water. I cannot thank everyone enough. Even if you didn't place an order, even if you just said encouraging words on Instagram, or as I posted pictures before the shop opening of things I was creating, just encouraging me to continue. Just thank you for it all. And I look forward to creating many more things to put in the shop. We have, and I say we because my husband is helping me out in this endeavor, but we have functional stickers. So your functional stickers are things for everyday planning and journaling. Say, for example, like date dots, something as simple as date dots. If you want to, decoratively plan, and you're using a blank journal or a planner without dates, of course you need your date dots. So we have date dots. We have days of the week in this beautiful font. I did not write this. I wish I could write this well. I'm working on it. But this is a font that I purchased and I absolutely love it. So we have days of the week. We also have months of the year. Some other functional things like some bullets that you can add to your planners and to your journals. We have them in gradients, because all makers, all knitters and crocheters, we love our gradients. And then we have just some other shapes of dots. So these are arrows. These are also functional. And we have these in a variety of colors. We also have sticker kits. I think I shared with you a couple of other sticker kits, but this is a brand new one. This is for my purple lovers. So all of the sticker kits will come with 2 sheets of illustrations and 2 sheets of functional boxes. And it will also come with a sheet of dots or some other type of shape. And like I said, these are actual stickers. Okay. Now I also want to share with you what has been really, really popular this week. These are the 2 most popular items this week. So this one here is called the Crafter's Affirmations. Make all the things in 2021, knit, wear, love, create every day, maker for life. So each one is an individual sticker you can use in your journal or your planner. Crafting and coffee. Creative people are seldom neat. I'd rather be crafting. The craft room is my happy place. Crafting my stress away. Crafting and coffee, that's me. Crafting is cheaper than therapy. So yes, these 2, along with the gray winter knits kit, were the most popular items this week. As a matter of fact, the winter knits kit sold out on the very first day. And that's saying something, because I didn't launch the shop until 4 p.m. this Monday of this week, and it had sold out that evening. So I was just blown away. So excited. And then these are individual stickers to place in your planner to remind you of what chores you have to do. Now I do want to do some YouTube videos showing you how I use these in my planner, or just give you ideas of ways you can use them in your journaling and planner process. So stay tuned for that content. All right. And again, it's fibertree.com. If you saw something you like, then that's where you can pick it up at. So what's around the corner? I do have a couple of fun things going on. As a matter of fact, this weekend, I'm participating in an online shopping event, which is called Our Sisters Market. It's happening on Instagram only. But today is Friday, February 5th. And I will be going live tomorrow, Saturday, February 6th, giving a closer look at some of the products that are in the shop. And I'll be around on Instagram pretty much all weekend, shopping with some of the other vendors and just sharing what's available. So you'll have to follow Our Sisters Market on Instagram for the details. Just follow Our Sisters Market. I'm going to put it right down here on Instagram. She has posted a schedule of all the Instagram lives of all the makers. There are just a variety. Bag makers, pajama makers. I'm definitely going to check that out. Lots of jewelry, soaps. There's someone who makes pet food. I think it's organic pet foods. Or naturally made skincare, hair care. It's just a lot of really fun things. And I'm really honored to have been accepted into this online market, especially since I'm a new business. So if that interests you, definitely check that out. And finally, I'm going to be taking a virtual class. It's called Shashiko Stitching on Stockinette. That's going to take place online at the Knot House. That's going to be February 21st. And I do believe there are still tickets available for that. So again, knothouse.com. I'm going to put that down here below as well. Shashiko Stitching on Stockinette. So that should be a super fun class. And I believe Vogue Knitting Live is going on this week as well. So pick up your virtual shopping ticket if you want to do a little bit of shopping for the weekend. And speaking of shopping, I can't close out without telling you guys what acquisitions I have acquired in the past few weeks. So I did pick up this beautiful yarn here. This came from Less Traveled Yarns, and this is her worsted base. Yes, this is the Nightfall Definition Collection. So those would be a collection of colors that resemble Nightfall. I got 5 of these because I want to do a big shawl, just a big cozy shawl. Haven't quite decided which one. Possibly Andrea Maury's new shawl. The name is escaping me right now. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. But aren't these gorgeous? So pretty. So that's one thing I've picked up. And then finally, the other thing I wanted to share with you, and I haven't even opened this book, but it's called Ready, Set, Raglan. It is a pom-pom quarterly book, another one of their amazing books, and it just contains a variety of raglan shaped sweaters. Look at this, and look at that gorgeous model. So we'll be talking about this more as the time goes on. That's gorgeous. So I love raglan sweaters, absolutely love them. So I can't wait to get into this. Might make me a cup of coffee or tea later and get into this. So yeah, not a lot of shopping's been going on here lately because I've been really busy with the shop and trying to stay focused. But you know, you can't keep a good shopper down. So stay tuned for some things that are on their way in the mail. So of course, this will be a shorter than has been episode because Arthella is no longer recording with me. But I hope you guys enjoyed the things I shared with you today. I am going to continue working on creating more things for the shop, and especially more things that are geared towards makers, which is what my goal was in opening the shop in the first place. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's all that I had to share with you today. So keep making for the first quarter, your jumpers and all of your other things that you want to work on. I look forward to seeing them and being in communication with you in the Rivalry group. I hope you and your family are well. You continue to stay well and healthy in body and in mind. And I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks, if not before. Okay, well, happy making and have a great weekend. Bye.